Waiting for everybody to turn up. Come on, people. Barry, welcome number one. Travis, get a few more people here before I press the engage button on the power. Howdy Pro, Sarah. We're getting there. Okay, so we're looking for a heartbeat fault on this one. I don't know how rapid the heartbeat's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that rapid. I think initially what we're going to see is on the backside that the camera chip is going to get warm. That's pretty sort of traditional. We'll see. Oh, and this is RC8 Linux. 517 RC8, so it looks like whatever it was that was killing the system before, whenever I'd run the infrared camera, has been fixed. So let's see how we go. Power in. Oh, well, that solves that. That's a fire trucked PCH. Very fire trucked PCH. No coming back from that one. Yeah, okay, and the heartbeat fault that I was thinking was just simply the system giving up and having another try again. But yeah, PCH is DED, very dead. What desktop do I use? Normally I use Fluxbox, but because of this latest Ubuntu that I'm on, it is using Wayland, and unfortunately Fluxbox hasn't been updated since about 2017 that I recall. And subsequently it does not work well with Wayland, so I'm having to use the default Linux Ubuntu desktop management system, which I'm not 100% happy with, but it is what it is. Anyway, so that's a dead board. That's no good at all. Useless. Life sucks. But at least we know now that the camera works. That's weird. It went back to quad display. Shouldn't do that by default, but it did. Let's get this USB cable out of the way. Come on, there you go. Right. Put the infrared camera away on my stack of crap. Alright, so this is definitely very dead. I feel like I should get a center punch and just go put a hole in that. Well, when you want to scratch something, it's actually extremely hard. Quite hard to scratch that silicon top. This. It's just affecting the residual flux on there. Who's that popular YouTuber that scratches things all the time, phones and stuff like that? Jerry Rig Everything, is it? Yeah, it would appear that these blades are not as hard as the die. That there, I think, is actually a scratch from this, so that's how I'll do it. I'll attack the epoxy. Now we know it is genuinely Did. That SMC looks like it's seen better days. But it's a donor. Ooh. You know what we can do. What RAM? Okay, this is an 8 gig job. So let's pull those chips. Hey, 555. Nice to see you. A bit late for you? Well, a bit late for me. Probably normal time for you. I pre-flux these because what I want to happen is as I warm up the board heading down, I want it so that the flux gets in and you basically can then pick up the chips as you go. I may actually have to go full air on this one. And it does take a bit of time to get these off. And sort of, I really should be using a preheater, but instead of a preheater, I'm just going to be patient. Another big earthquake in Fukushima. Power out in Tokyo. Oh, that's really not good. Really not good. As if we don't have enough issues in the world already. I mean, I get it. Yeah, Japan is, of all the countries, it is, you know, quite apt at dealing with earthquakes and preparing for them, but there's only so much you can do. Though the technologies that they've come up have been quite amazing. I might actually just try the flick off. Like that. Because we don't really care about any of the other parts on the board. Hopefully it's not tearing any pads though. Ah, scratched it. I mean, it is entirely possible that I could have ended up ripping pads on the chips, but we'll see. Oh, these ones don't have ridges on them. Damn it, all this time I've been thinking they had ridges. Ah, what a joke. Yeah, they'll look good. They look like they're ripped, but they're not. They're just... yeah, they're not. Okay, so we've got our 8 gigs of RAM with a bit of random junk that we don't want on there. I really got to put this whole thing through the ultrasonic cleaner again sometime soon. Now to find A holder, that's gonna... How can I not have a holder for this? You... No, 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 no. Oh, this sucks. Well... Stencils I should have for these, though. There we go. There's another board that I've done, or reflowed, and I think it's 1502s. Yeah, the 1502 machines that I've had to rework or something, and I think they have the ridges on them. Ah, there it is. That's when I was looking. No. It's PCHs. Where the hell's my ream one? Could be in my other container of stencils. No, certainly not in that container. Alright, where's the other container? Ah, there it is. The problem I have with those diagonal pinch assemblies is that they're made out of aluminium, which means when it comes to actually reflowing them, the setup, they have a bad tendency of disproportionate heating. Like your corners will, where it's been held, they will not warm up with the rest of the board because the heat's been drained out, and it causes a lot of issues. Okay, so this is the one I was after, and this was actually given to me by Fixing Things. Actually, speaking of which, I haven't seen Fixing Things around for that. Synthetic Ron, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, most of them that I've seen are all being aluminium, or the ones I see people using aluminium. But yeah, if I can get a Synrock one, that'd be cool. I wonder if I can actually just do all this on the thingamajig, the doobie-dacker, the whatchamacallit, this thing. I'll take this out. Not really the best to grip though. Might work. Stack of lint-free paper towel. That could be expensive and wasteful. I'm pretty good with the linty ones. Okay. This is this chip. That is definitely not the right one. Nope, these are all too big. Yeah, all of these are too big, which sucks because these are nice. They've got square stencil holes. Alright, I'm back to square one again. Alright. Oh, this one does have the recess on it, see? But for some reason when I was using that, it would not sit properly. It's like it needed to be cut deeper. Alright. Trying to dig through the stencils again. Why am I using brown paper? Because we have a situation here where there are no paper towels available because everybody has panic bought everything. And so, yeah, there's just nothing around. I can't get paper towels at all. So I had to use napkins. And the only napkins I could get were the expensive organic recycled paper type ones. In another week or two, supply will return to normal and be okay. So what about this one? Right, that one's probably going to fit, but let's see if we can put it that way. Okay, we're... No, yes, no, yes, yes. Okay, that will fit. That's it. Yeah, the toilet paper madness still goes on. And on and on and on and on and on. See, that would have fit nicely there, but unfortunately I can't get the stencil to sit that way. I can do this at least. Yeah. Sorry, I'm yabbling to myself, but I need the opinion of a professional. Use toilet tissue. It tends to break apart too much. It's not brown paper bag. It's yeah, let me show. There. Oh, that's what it is at the moment, and it'll get me through until we have a resupply. Well, Miles, the problem is that in this world, many people are so full of shit that they need toilet paper constantly. I think I might have to hot air this one. I've still got to put the leather down, and I've got to get those greyed out pads back to life. Actually, maybe I can get away without hot airing this one. Maybe not. Yeah, hot air it is. But at least the solder doesn't stick to this. It's a small blessing. Come on, man. Right, looks good. Now the question here is whether I go with balls or whether I go with solder. Now the stencil itself is appropriate for this one on the right in the middle. No, actually, funnily enough, it looks like it, but it is... oh, wait, no, okay, yeah. I'm not even going to bother with that. That one's just way too minimal to care about. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go solder or balls on this. In fact, I missed 2 in the middle there too. Trying to think what size balls this would use. Hey James. Can I use 0.3? It's definitely not 0.35 material. This is more like 0.25 if I'm lucky. I guess we'll see. We'll try a couple and see what matches up. You'll probably find it's 0.5 or something stupid. 0.3. It'd be good if I can use 0.35 because I've just got that for everything. 0.25. Damn you, Travis. Damn you. Really? 0.25? That's ludicrous. That's ludicrously small. I would personally go for 0.3 with that sort of thing. I'm sort of more inclined to go for a 0.3 than 0.25. Oh, 0.5, whoops. Definitely not 0.5. Well, I think 0.35 might end up being a little bit too big, but we'll see. Okay, so these are 0.3s. Okay, let's have a look at what 0.35's like. I mean, it's not a major issue which one, yeah, so long as they don't suffer the issue of bridging or yeah, chance of, oh man, come on. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 0.35 to be honest. Mind you, I'll see what the stencil does because the stencil's what has to sit over the top while I throw them in. Should not have any problem whatsoever putting 0.35s there. The upside of the 0.35 is that it will minimize the differences imposed by those pads that I didn't do. However, the big issue is that it is a major pain in the backside to try and hold this stencil here while I lay down and see why people would go for paste for this. In fact, maybe we should try paste. The only trouble is the stencil is not likely going to tolerate being heated, so paste I would have to paste it down, lift off, and hope that my paste doesn't sag. Put the 4 corners in the menu, hold in place. Yeah, thanks Miles. Thanks for reminding me that that's such an option. Thank you. Yeah, we'll try that. I may think I'd take it out of this holder. Let's see if I can't. Yeah, the 2 ball or 4 ball method. the multi-ball method. But I'm still having troubles with just placing it. See, where the issue this damn thing does not sit flat. So I can see it, you can see the handle. It's, you know, greater diameter than the thickness of that. So no matter what I do, let's see if I can maybe shim it or something like that. Find something that'll fit under there. This is why I need to get myself a CNC set up. Hey, I wonder if this heater will do it. No, I can't use that. There's too many little nipples poking up, and that is actually a correct term. So YouTube, don't you dare penalize me for that, because that was a correct term. Okay, it's not perfect, but that actually is stable enough. Hey Mark, I don't see much of you around these days. It's not perfect, but it is stable enough, so I think we'll go with that. Six skills, hard is relative. I don't want to do paste, because paste is a pain in the backside for... I don't have a problem with paste in principle. What I have a problem with is that 90% of the stencils don't really find themselves agreeable to reflow. That wall is not down. Now it is. I mean, if you can get stencils that are beautifully tolerant, damn, but this is still a pain in the backside. Mostly because the stencil, really I should cut it down, but I don't want to do that. Hey, I lost my corner block. What's happening here is that the the heat pad is sucking up all of my... Look, I got a freebie. 2-in-1. It's not a good idea. Yeah, I sort of need to find a way of holding that stable. Maybe some assistive weight. So just gonna find something that's heavy enough. Maybe magnet. Crap. It's all part of the experimenting. Captain tape was an idea as well, yes. But oh, cool. No. The magnet is attracted to the stencil, but it's no good for the... I've just got to find something that's sufficiently dense. I suppose a magnet will work, but it will also get demagnetized by virtue of the fact that I'm going to be heating up everything. Mind you, I shouldn't be getting beyond the Curie point, so in theory. There we go. Yeah, I'm lacking the feel of this going well, to be honest. I mean, that stencil just buckled simply from the heat, the latent heat in that block. Nothing else. I didn't do anything else, and it's still buckled. I hate using tape, creature. I really loathe and detest using tape. It's the reason why I ended up going with the 2-ball SMC method. All because of tape. Yeah, this isn't going to go well, folks. Yep, not going to go well. I basically need a bigger heat pad. Shove a self-tapper through it and hold everything down. Oh, yeah, sure, that'll work. This block holds a tremendous amount of heat. It's not even connected to the actual Hacko station yet, and yet it's still already too hot for me to handle. Like I said, good reason for me to get myself a nice CNC machine, because then I can just make whatever jigs I need on demand. and all would be well. Oh well, we could do it the way of the idiots. Maybe we should do it the way of the idiots. What do you reckon? Do it the way of the idiots? First we'll just take these away. People are going to be going, what's the way of the idiots? Well, you're going to find out shortly. Yeah, I don't have a ceramic clamp. WCR, I'm really not too sure, but I'm looking at something like the 1810. There's this like metal bodied one, and yes, the 1810 I think is the size of it. So I'm thinking of that one. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, I think it's about $300 or $400, maybe $600 by the time it lands to me. Nice thing is, at least when I've done it this way, I can just turn the heat on. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about hot air temperatures or anything like that. It's just turn it on and away it goes. I definitely do prefer it though if I can. Sliding them along is okay, but I do prefer it if I can actually use the electrostatic attraction of a knife blade and pick the balls up from a dry point and put them down on the flux. And the flux has the greater attraction. But so I'm just going to use this bluntish awl. Yeah, this is the trouble when you get the larger tip sizes. Maybe I can sharpen this awl down a little bit. Because the radius of the tip of this awl is around about the same as the balls. So I'm very close to, yeah, I'm going to sharpen this up a bit. Or at least try to. Yeah, I did, Miles. Can't you see it? No, you're in the right place then. Creature, do you remember many years ago there was a fellow who would create reball chips by creating little bad dry joint sort of things, solder pyramids onto balls? I'm trying to think what his name was. But biggest thing I remember is there was a really dirty soldering iron tip, and he used denim cloth to do it all on. I don't know whether you saw much of that. Hey, micro repairs. Getting old sucks. Oh, I agree, Miles. It really does. This is a job for a robot. Yes, it certainly is. It's not a job I would personally recommend to anyone. But until I can sort out my stencil situation, then it's kind of the option at hand. I think what's terrifying is when you start this, you kind of realize just how many damn pads there are on these things. And I thought I was putting excess when I poured them out. Oh, welcome back, Jim. I don't find tweezers to be my friend when it comes to this sort of work. Some people like using tweezers, I do not. The main reason is that I find that occasionally I will bump the other end of the tweezers, like, you got the two sides, and I'll bump the second side as I'm trying to place with the tip I'm focusing on, and that just causes all manner of horror. Yeah, it's first half done. Wednesday, Thursday? Oh yeah, I suppose today is technically Thursday, given that it's past midnight. Get off! Pardon me. Yep, definitely gonna need more here. And yeah, this can be as frustrating as trying to shove yesterday's digested curry up a hill with a pointy stick. Can you 3D print that precise? I can't see why you can't 3D print that precise. I think it's pretty amazing. I mean, geez, they can Yeah, when they do die bonding, that's pretty damn precise. The most frustrating bit is the fact that I've got them in the wrong place at the moment, so I'm having to roll them all up. Only 50 plus left. Oh, good. Yeah. Fortunately, I've got the... Okay, let's just hope I don't chuck this up. I might just try an experiment here. Ah, geez. That probably wasn't a good idea. Yep. I'm going to try the place, grab and place sort of situation here. Interesting. It's defying my efforts to pick them up. Ah, that's better. So this is what I prefer, where you can just use the attraction of the tip of the blade to grab it, and then as soon as you touch it to the flux has a superior but it's the blade is the tricky bit, trying to get that tip to do the work for you. It's like trying to pick up a bowling ball with your little finger. A 16-pound one at that too, not the easy 8-pounders. Never quite had the strength for the 16-pound ones. I'd always err between 13 and 14-pound bowling balls. It's just not my thing to be a heavy lifter, as it were. Like when I play squash, it's same sort of thing. That's why I play squash, because it sort of tends to balance out nicely with my physique. Squash, cycling, that sort of stuff. These days my stomach is more of a troublemaker. Daughter had a 16-pound fingertip ball, ruined her shot. Oh, damn. Yeah, that would do. But yeah, see how I've got much better control and speed when I'm doing it this way. Alright, now I need more. The trouble is these are going to be contaminated with flux, which may make the process a little bit tricky. Damn it. And that's what happens when you get a little bit of flux on the tip. It won't let go as quick. Squash is such a fast-paced game. It is, which is why I like it. Yeah, there's strength, speed comes into it, but tactics also, and yeah, psychological. But then again, I suppose that's the same as most sports. But in squash, it's having power and being able to really make some cracking shots is great when you want to finish the game or finish the round, but more often than not I found the psychological game worked quite nicely, particularly if you can keep slowing the game down on the opponent. Like if you've got an opponent who's physically superior to you, which happened to me a lot, it was always enjoyable to just keep pulling them back down to the slow game, lobbing. It's a little bit, it feels a bit naughty, but if you want to win, then you capitalize on what you're good at. Of course, there are some people who massively outclass you, that no matter what you do, you're going to get your backside absolutely trashed. But one of the few sports I actually really enjoyed. Alright, we're good to go. There's no airflow on this one. We're just heating up this is the whole point of it. We're just heating up. That's all we're going to do. So I've turned on the Hacko station. Groove Dodger, they usually just have either massive stencils or focus is a bit tricky at this point. In some ways it's easy for me to zoom in. Again, I get caught out. See, the problem is I leave the normal soldering iron, my chisel tip, I leave that in the holder, but of course the Hacko stations have a sense in there and they know that there is a handle in the holder, and so they're like, okay, we're going to turn off the machine now. And it's like, no, you need to come back on power. Okay, that bottom flux that's popping up, that could be a problem if I'm not careful. But it may only affect the bottom row, so we'll just let it play out. Hot air. I mean... Okay, I can turn it off at this point. There's a couple that have misaligned, but I can always sort them out myself, like that one up there. There we go, we're all done. We just gotta... The only trouble with this method is you really have to wait a while for that block to cool down again. But looks like that worked out well. Okay, creature. Oh shit, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Alright, 2 o'clock in the morning means I gotta finish up here. Did not realise it was that late. Yeah, it's a lot later than I realised. So definitely, I should be able to fish this out now. You can see that they have cooled off. So a bit of experimenting and it worked out not too bad for us. And definitely looks pretty close to factory. There's some subtle imperfections there. I can see some balls haven't fully gone back. There's one around about the right middle. There, you can see it right in the middle of the screen. You can see one that hasn't quite pulled itself. 2 of them there, they haven't quite pulled themselves into place. But we can fix that up. In fact, they'll probably just correct itself when I put it down on the board. We'll just have to do 4 more of those unless I can sort out my stencil situation tomorrow. But there we go. Bit of fun and games. Reballing memory chips. The idiot style. Pretty happy with that. Ah, no one can see. God damn it. There we go. There's a magnet somewhere. There's a magnet somewhere upsetting my compass. The whole sensor was being hijacked by a magnet somewhere on the desk. But that's pretty good. A bit of stuffing around, and look, I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to have to do that too many more times. So I really do want to get a stencil assembly that will work for that situation. But in saying that, I still have to get the stencil off the chip so that I can then melt the balls, because if I leave the stencil on there, it's going to pop and buckle, which will of course make all of these jump off. Oh well, one done, a few to go. Okay, that's it for tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow.